Hello, hello. Oh, my audio is way too quiet. Let me fix that. All right, here we go. Should be back to normal now. All right, so yeah, we're doing our post-jam development on our jam game here. And yeah, we got a plan. We've got a plan, an outline of what we're going to work on. We've got stuff to both improve the game as it is, as well as to expand the game towards a full release. Yesterday we did a bunch of stuff with the ship. Got the ship in a really good spot as far as getting it to be more responsive. Today I think we're going to work more on the wind. A note here. Is this just the same as the proposed whirlwind ability? Rotational gust. I think it might be. I like this tagging system that Obsidian has. I don't really know how to use it yet, but I do like it. You know, no one's in here, so I'm going to take some opportunities to eat some breakfast. So, if you're watching the VODs, sorry. Put my game up in case anyone comes by and is curious about it. I really want to redo the subscriber badges. I am like not happy with them. Alright, so let's lay out a little more of what we intended to do here. Should there be a time component, at least within the jam version? That's a good question. So we are going to add a cloud. That's not a taggable thing. Add a cloud-like particle that better shows where the wind collider is. We want one of those. We were working on that yesterday. We were kind of messing around with it. We need to actually draw a cloud particle today. We also need to add an arrow-like object that better shows the player's click and drag. That's important too. Not exactly sure how we're going to do that. I honestly think we could just make it a sprite and then like stretch it. So this is probably the area we're going to tackle today. Because I feel like these first three things, spawn rate, the ship responsiveness, and the input and wind feedback is like very crucial. So I guess that means we open a sprite, huh? Davila Q followed me. Oh, thank you, Davila Q. Welcome to the chat. Have you seen our little game before? Our little jam entry? I've got the music turned off, but I'm happy to show you. It's a little game about directing ships to a temple. And so you can summon gusts of wind that blow the ship in a new direction. So your goal is to direct the white-sailed ships to the temple and either crash or direct away the black-sailed ships. So let's see if we can crash this black-sailed ship in the rock. Oh no, but it knocks my white ship. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Alright, thank you. Thank you, Davila. Time this. You know, the smoke doesn't look that bad. It's just too big. If we're going to make the particles that size, we need to have a much denser drawing. So need to make the particle fade away. That's easy. Alright, I was gonna fix something. Yeah, we need to keep track of this particle that we've added. 2D, we'll call it cloud, I guess. And we actually want it to be, yeah, we want it to be on top of the other ones. This cloud. Add some type safety to these. Easy fix there. That should help with that. So we are doing something with the cloud where we're basically not allowing it to control anything until we let it go. That I think is okay. Kind of interested in making an arrow kind of object, but let's draw a cloud first because we already have that set up and we just need a good file. So what size is the smoke? It's 8 by 8. So we need either a 16 by 16 or a 32 by 32. Let's take one more look and see what we want. Yeah, those are too chunky. We probably want a 32 by 32. Real question is whether we animate it or something. Let's take a look at some, see like pixel art, clouds. Okay, so it's, ooh, I like this one. Kind of do something like this, something more bulbous, but something that still kind of matches our, we can't have this exact kind of swirl because we don't want to add a directionality to it really. But basically like, yeah, like this, like cotton balls essentially. And so they're darker in the back, lighter in the front. Maybe do 3 shades. We could maybe even use the shade tool, the shader tool. What's it called? The shading tool, yeah. So we need to select some colors in our palette for the cloud. This is the default palette. We want our palette. I like having this like linear array of colors, but it makes it really hard to interact with the interface. We use a lot of these for the ocean, so we could use maybe these 3 for the... Do we use this for anything? It's maybe not not a good color. But this is probably the top. It's almost white. Oh, we could use this, but I kind of want something a little less gray. I want something that matches a little better. Like, what are these? I guess this one is gray, but like this one is like bluish. And against the ocean, I think that looks really good. Doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to get the gist of it. Here we go. So draw out some shapes, fill it in, shade it, done, cool. Yeah, this is it. This is how we doing this. Oh, that's as big as this looks. Cool. Pixelart.com, huh? We'll draw out some shapes, fill, and then shade. That sounds about right. Open question whether we use that gray ramp or we use something like this. Ooh, something like this could be really cool. We want to put it in the purple or the blue? Probably the blue. Let's look at our ocean colors. So what is this? I guess we should just open our island. See what the island looks like a little bit. So he gets an idea of what color this is. So it is that. Where is that? Okay, so it's these three. That's what we've been using. Is it conceivable that we eventually use this one as well? Sort of. It's conceivable. So I kind of like this one. Kind of like these three. The white, this kind of purpley blue kind of thing, and then this even darker one. I think these are going to be the three we use. I think that'll be cool. The alternative is to go down here and use some of these, which are certainly not bad, but they're a little gloomy for what we're trying to do. We might have a different level. We'll probably have different levels with maybe some different palette choices, but I think for the base level, these three are the ones we're going to go with. We use the circle. We use the circle tool, maybe. We maybe. Oh, I see. It's fine. Oops. Let's start with a big circle. Open it a little bit here. Let's just start adding some shapes to it.
And I don't want to hear another word about our personal problems until I get this down.
Never drawn a cloud before, so this might look kind of janky. We go back to the brush tool, we make it big. Make it circular. We'll paint in with the lowest color first. I realize I don't want to use too much white in this cloud because of our wisps. That's what I really should have called them. So here's like just a blob, that'll work. And then so what we want is we want to shade up. I can use the shading tool for this. I want it to be all three. How do I get it to be all three? It's just 2 right now. Oh, because I have to add them each one by one. Yeah, like this. I think this is so cool. Alright, so how are we going to shade this? We should... So the light will be emphasized on top, but we do want some stuff in the back. Okay. That was too much. I'm going to leave some. It's also too much, so... Let's think about where the back is. Let's make part of this back here some of the back, maybe? See some of that, some of the back? Maybe we... This is the highlight up here. And leave some of this. Doesn't really look like a cloud. Flatter lines, maybe? Yeah, more of a sense of roundness is what I want. So I need to pick where the shapes are better. Let's say something like this. That's like a cloud. Maybe bring it down a little bit. It's an okay first start. It's a cloud. It's really not a good cloud. I'll practice. I'll practice and do some more later. Upside down is one thing, which is unfortunate. There we go. the collision shape look like? I can't even see it now. Oh, it's right there. I'm a fool. So yeah, this is like twice as big as it should be. Where do I set that? Scale. 1, 2. There we go. Maybe we make this a little more generous. Oh lord, that is bigger than I intended it to be for sure. Let's try this one again with the oh, I hate this. I hate this artist so much. Like the worst artist on this radio station. I wish I could just tell them I never want to hear that artist ever again. So the scale is still wrong for this, so let's fix that. 0.5 to 1. Maybe we bring this back to kind of where it was before. We need to put it in world space. Which is going to cause it to lag behind, so we're probably going to need to give it some velocity. It looks okay. It doesn't look great. So it needs to be in object space. Oh, let's add some velocity to it. Maybe that'll fix it. Could also not move it and just change the emission direction. Although I think it'll restart the emission if I change any of this stuff. It's not really what I want. Kamala 30, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Working on a little cloud here. Windy cloud thing. I love my little wind wispies, but I feel like they're too much. But yeah, we've made a little jam game about controlling the wind, and we're working on improving it. Post jam here. Yeah, I'm good. How about yourself? I'm tuning particle effects to be really hard. Yeah, I don't think this is the way. I think we do move this back to world space, but now we have to change the way particles work. Oh, thank you very much, Kamala. Are you doing game dev? Are you working in Godot as well? I find that's most of the people that come by tend to be Godot people. Alright, so I'm gonna have to change the whole way that this gust of wind works if I want to change this. So right now we're using look at. return the whole thing. But instead of doing that, we need to stop doing this rotation stuff. Ugh. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be a pretty big change. Let's be sure it's what we want to do before we do it. I think it is. I think we want the cloud to travel like this. We'll animate it too, probably. We only had the little wind wispies, these little curlicue things before, and people were saying it was really hard for them to tell where the actual collider of the wind was, so we're working on adding a little bit more body to the wind so they can tell, but it's kind of interfering with our aesthetic here. Just looks like a big smoke cloud moving along. Maybe the gusts of wind are too fast, is maybe what I'm deciding. I guess we're going to make them variable soon. So that will make a pretty big difference. We'll introduce wind speed. You're a streamer, gaming graphic designer. Oh, nice. I'm okay, Kamala. I actually make my own art. I do pixel art, so it's not glamorous, but it's good enough. And it fits my aesthetic. But yeah, I'd be happy to look at your work. I have an Instagram, same name as my channel. So yeah, if you want to send me, if you want to add me there, I would love looking at your portfolio. Definitely need to make more art for my channel. I don't have a lot. I have a couple of emotes. And that's about it. But yeah, I tend to do my own stuff. Alright, so here's the real question. What does this derive from? Node 2D. Okay, so this has its own transform. Okay. So I can basically change it to moving these separately. So we'd want to move the particle up and the particle down. Let's add a little bit more organization here, maybe. Let's give a new node 2D, and let's call it particle straight. Make another one, and we'll call it particle swirly. Straight or swirling. There's going to be the two kinds of particles, and then we'll have the cloud to be like a third type. No, it's all right. I'd rather do Instagram if you like, but if you don't have one, I'd recommend getting on Instagram. A lot of artists on there. All right, Carlos, ban Carlos. 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. It seems to be the day of the bots today, everybody. I guess it's what happens sometimes. Carlos 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. Definitely ask for permission before posting a link, especially if it's spam. So let's add the up and down ones to the straight. And let's add the swirling ones to the swirling. And we need to reconnect most of them here. Let's say particle straight. Actually, let's alphabetize this to an extent. Actually, I was told how to do this. It's Alt, arrow. That's cool. Call this straight up. Let's call this straight down. Let's call this verticals. Verticals cloud. In here now. There we go. Swirling up. Swirling down. I wonder if I named it up and down based on like my intuition or like the actual way that this structure works here. As far as like Godot, like the enemy's gate is down. I don't know. I don't know what I did. Okay, yeah, I'm Digital Iliad. Just add me on Insta. I'd love to look at your work. Same name as my channel name. I think I want to change radio stations. There's 55 hours of radio in that station. I feel like I hear the same songs over and over again. Actually, I want to listen to piano music today. It's a chill day. Yeah, no worries. All right, particle straight, particle swirling. So we need straight down. We need straight up. Guess I should move these below. And then same with swirling down, swirling up. I guess it's not down and up. I guess it should be like left and right. See if I can figure out which is which. That's right. That's left. You in here, we just want to change the order. There we go. Gust of wind particle. The gust of wind effect is getting complicated, but that's okay. So we've put these here so that we can just spin these or move these if we need to. So we can actually we might not even need to think about these. Now that I'm thinking about it here. Oh, we might once we start adding a whirlwind effect. But maybe not. We'll see. Now we actually don't need to refer to these. Oops. Just need to refer to these three. So that means, yeah, none of this will work anymore. So let's say particles straight. Particle straight dot modulate. We're going to say particles swirling. Modulate is particle swirling dot modulate. Get rid of those two, right? Oh, we actually want to do this. No. So we're doing this. We're doing this. The ones that used to be swirling, the two swirlings will become one. Swirling dot modulate. Swirling dot modulate. There we go. And now we're going to do the same thing down here. Right. We could actually just make a particles modulate variable, huh? Say variable particles modulate float equals 1. You can actually do, oh well, no, that won't work, will it? That's fine. We'll just do what we're doing. We'll do what we're already doing here. I do this? Can I say like variable particle modulate is there like a bool 3? Is that a concept? No, there isn't. We could say it's a new vector 3. It can just be one. It can be just one float. We can only use it in a certain circumstance. Particles modulate. Float. It's going to equal 1. I'm going to say particles modulate is lerp. Modulate clear by delta. Oops. By delta. And then we just simplify this whole thing. We're only lerping one value because it's the same value over and over again. Modulate.a 0. Let's see. We don't need the clear anymore. We can just say, yeah, we can say this. Not a. If. Can I say particles modulate dot is 0 approximately? Does float have that? No, that's a global scope variable. Okay. Particles. Let's double check that. Let's go look at the float. You only have operators? You don't have any fancy things? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, a 0 approx. The fact that these are all doubles is like pretty crazy. My cloud looks so flat. Maybe we need another tone. A little. Maybe we need to do a little bit in the back too. Maybe we just have just the lighter color in the back. Hey, Lil Frosty XD. That's it. Welcome to the channel. We're upset by how bad I am at making clouds right now. I'll have another attempt later. I think this is at least a little better. Maybe not. Let's not mess with it right now. Let's just fix that a little. Nah. Let's not mess with it. Yeah, I disagree, but thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. We're working on on improving our wind system. We have a jam game that we finished a couple weeks ago, and we're working on improving it. And part of that is increasing the feedback of the player movement stuff. But anyway, how are you? Welcome to the channel. I think the lifetime is too short. Oh, not that one. Not this one. Oh, what did I do? I'm like doing something. There we go. When you hit Control Z and you're not sure what you just undid. Scary. Struggling with Godot. First time picking any engine up. Oh, awesome. Godot is the best. I've only been using Godot for, I don't know, 6 months, something like that. And I ended up making a game in 48 hours. So, you know, don't be disheartened. Godot, once you get past some of the node is a scene as a node stuff, or a scene as a node is a scene as a node, once you get past some of that weird nesting stuff, I think it's quite good. It's certainly good for 2D. I don't know if you're intending on working on 2D mainly, but what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was trying to fix some stuff, so we're probably going to get an error. We're trying to make it so that we don't turn the whole node anymore, but let's just see if what we just did breaks. It sort of broke. The wispies aren't drawing anymore. I think I need to tone down the wispies, or maybe tone up the clouds. The cloud needs to have a way longer lifetime, and maybe it needs to animate. You're struggling with the code itself since you're a web developer, and none of these make sense logically to me. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's like a lot of other dynamic languages. Like, it's very similar to Python, syntactically at least. I admit I'm way more comfortable with like C# and stuff, and like statically typed languages, so it was definitely hard for me to get used to. But I think if you study up on some Python, you'll feel okay. That didn't do anything. Oh, that did too much. Oh, I've like coupled these ships together. Yeah, I don't know what to do when that happens. I need to come up with something. Can I save it? Not quite. Alright, let's see what we did to break our wind effect thing here. Have something to do with your modulate? Yeah, you start out invisible. We don't really want that. We want to take that characteristic and move that to your parent. So, oh, speaking of which, I guess we don't really care about Y-sort. So yeah, your parent is the one that's going to be start out invisible. What does ready do? Okay, so there's a concept. Let me go to my main here. So there's this concept of the scene tree, which is this thing here. And so there's two functions, built-in functions, that call when you add an object to the scene tree. Because, like, you have scenes that you can add to the scene tree, but the scenes tree itself is kind of like its own scene, you know? You know what I mean? So ready calls after the scene or node has been added to the scene tree. There's a function that calls even before that called enter tree, which runs when something actually enters the tree. And then ready runs, and then stuff like process and things like that run after that. Yeah, it's not exactly on boot. Calling it on boot is, or like for the game is incorrect, but it is kind of like a initialization function for a given node or scene. Like once you add it into the scene tree. Which might happen when you start the game, or it might happen when you change scenes, or it might happen if you spawn an object. So yeah, it's kind of just it is the you know, initialize stuff function generally. Yeah. It's super confusing. Also, the way the scene tree propagates is super confusing because it goes like... I would read the docs for that because the way the scene tree gets iterated through is super weird and unintuitive. But the Godot docs are really good. They're accessible from inside the engine pretty easily. Online documentation. Yeah, the docs are really good. When I was starting out, I just read through the whole docs for a number of weeks. It helped a lot. So now... Oh, let's see if we fix the problem we were having. Okay, so that works. It looks like crap. I think we want the gusts to follow... Like right now we've been trying to get these little wispies to follow the cloud too closely. I think the wispies are going to like peel off the back of the cloud. Is what they're going to do. So maybe we want some damping. We want a little damping and a little bit of a lower velocity. So maybe what we want. Let's see. Velocity 816. Let's say the initial velocity. The initial velocity looked correct. What we want is a deceleration. How exactly is this calculated? Let's say like 2 and 4. Let's try that. That's super weird. I think I'm gonna have a hard time reconciling the cloud with the wispies. Maybe we just want fewer of them. That's almost certainly true. Want fewer of them. But why is that? Wait, why? Oh, this is not even the same material. What the F? Gust.tres. That explains a lot. So let's maybe increase their lifetime. Not sure about this randomness. Oh, it's lifetime randomness. That's okay. The one looks Greek, like the sharp corners that they have on their architecture. Yeah, that was definitely intentional. Like we have a big temple in the middle. When I was doing the game page, I was just like, you play Zephyros, god of the wind. So we ended up leaning pretty hard into the Greek thing. We have a little mandolin that makes up the soundtrack right now that I recorded. Oh man, Kubi Man is getting ready for Score Chasers. Oh, that's so good. That's probably a good time. Do I have any released games? Not really. This is my first publicly released one, and I've been a hobbyist for a long time, but I've always been such a perfectionist that I've been very hesitant to like release what I'd make into the wild. Kind of always just did it for fun, but now I'm really making a push to kind of do it more professionally. And this game jam really helped me get through my perfectionism and get past it, and be able to put something out there that actually has had a pretty good response so far. I won't know how well I scored until not tomorrow, but next Friday. But excited to see. Happy either way. I'm just happy to have done it. All right, so we need to change some stuff here. Yeah, this color ramp is no good. This color ramp needs to be like... the F am I... what is happening? Okay, so this is the cloud T-res. So you start out... you don't want to start out black, you want to start out just transparent. And we want to very quickly reach full transparency, or not full transparency, but like half transparency. Well, let's see actually how this looks like with only 2. And then you're going to go back to no transparency. See how that looks. These are slightly different pixel scales, but I'm mostly okay with that. Slap the early access tag on it. Yeah, we'll see. I want to... my goal is to polish this up significantly, put out a post-mortem video just after the rating period ends, and hopefully get a Steam page up so I can at least, you know, while there's still some excitement about Ludum Dare, get some wish lists. And then, yeah, I don't know, in a few months, put this out for a couple of bucks, few bucks. Nothing big. We're not trying to do anything crazy. Just start to build a portfolio, you know. We're in a new engine. We're trying to just get comfortable. Build a track record. So that people believe me when I tell them about, you know, my long-term game that I'm working on. So that people believe me that I can do it. So yeah, we're just working on it for some credibility, some experience. I think that's a good thing. Let me finish my toast, sorry. $59.99, yeah, for sure. With some DLCs. I want to add enough levels and enough content to be able to justify something like $4.99, but we'll see if that's even doable. Chess Survivors is like $4.99, so I don't know. So is Halls of Torment, and that game is sick. So I'm a little hesitant to go even as high as $4.99, but we'll see what we end up with. We might end up at like $2.99, $3.99, who knows. Just a little token. Oh, oops. Yeah, so we're not happy with this, but it's working out for now. I hate this artist so much. Oh wait, this is a different artist. But I still don't want to listen to this song. The clouds are looking better. I'm not super happy with the pixelation thing. We might not actually end up using a particle effect. Maybe we will. Oh, we need to deal with the rotation is what we need to deal with. That's the problem we're running into. The fact that it rotates with the wind. That's the next thing we need to handle. We need way faster deceleration. And I think we actually want to move the spawn points back. We don't actually want to spawn them in front. We want them to come off of the back. It's almost like a wake for the clouds. Like the wake that you'd see in the ocean. All those survival games. Oh, you loved Halls of Torment? I met the devs at GDC. They were so cool. I ended up buying the game that night, and I play it on my Steam Deck. Like when I'm tired, I'm going to bed or something. I love Halls of Torment. I think I've run out of things to do, but I played that game for like 12 hours or something, so that doesn't feel that bad. I really haven't played that many Survivor-like games, weirdly. I liked Halls of Torment because that's also made in Godot, and the devs were at the Godot booth showing off the game, and I really enjoyed it. Alright, so we need to take away this whole look at thing. Or we need to be more precise about what we mean. So the look at thing, so look position, look at mouse position. It can't be just look at, it has to be particles straight dot look at. So we're going to change only a sub node here, child node. Let's find the other look ats. I know we have one more. Oh, we have a rotation. So we're going to say particle straight dot rotation. Is it that simple? Is it that easy? Not exactly. So our velocity is tied to our... That looks a lot better though. Let's maybe say 20. 20 is too many. Let's say 12, and let's say a lifetime of like 3. It's been like you played them all: Halls of Torment, Ever Survivors, Death Must Die. I think there are 2 more. That's awesome. Spent like 20 hours in each. That's good. I mean, I got into Helldivers for a minute, but I honestly don't play games right now. If I'm at my computer, I'm like, I want to play on my Steam Deck, or I want to play on my couch. I spend like 10, 11 hours a day in front of this computer between game dev and my day job. When it's over, I just want to be done. Okay, so translate is not going to work for us. Translate is not going to work. Translate the node by the given offset in local coordinates. We could say to local and then translate. Let's see what we're doing here, actually. So the velocity... So velocity is gust velocity dot lerp transform. Here's the problem. Transform dot x. That's not going to work. How do we establish the direction that we're... Are we only using look position for this? That's not going to be adequate. Yeah, so we're just using our local x-axis to handle the movement, and now that we're not rotating the whole node, that's no longer going to work. So we need to change our approach. So what can we do that's different but also the same? We could say gust direction, keep track of the gust direction. Here it is. So we've got this variable. We don't, as far as I can tell, we don't really use it for anything. Okay, so gust direction is look position dot normalized. That is correct. Then we're gonna say gust velocity is gust velocity. We need to stop lerping velocity. That's like not the correct way to do velocity, but this should give us the direction that we need. I'm a little concerned about this. So we actually now define a local variable for gust direction, which is not good. So we don't actually have to define this here. And what are we doing on process? Oh, we are doing all of this in process. We really shouldn't be doing this on process. Because then the wind speed is like tied to well, we're gonna need to fix all of that. We're gonna need to rebuild our whole locomotion system in the physics engine more correctly. We have a lot of we have a lot of tech debt from this being a jam game. But we're getting the behavior we want now. The wispies are heading in the correct direction. The cloud is no longer rotating. I don't love how it looks. Maybe we don't want to ease into it. Maybe we say like... I've had a hard time tuning particles, which I guess is just actually pretty normal. Pretty normal thing for people to have to do. Oh, oops. Say like that. I guess we don't want it to be full. What the F am I listening to right now? Oh, this is the artist I hate. Never want to hear her music ever again. What is the game even? I'll show you. So... you're this god of wind, so your goal is to bring ships with white sails to the temple and keep ships with black sails from hitting either other ships or getting to the temple. And the ships will crash, so you need to control the wind to change their direction. We had a real big issue with the jam version of the game where people couldn't really see where the wind was. So that's what we're working on right now. Okay, I don't love that. We need some kind of ease in. I'm actually still not convinced we're going to use particle effects for that. We might just use a sprite that animates. And yeah, so every time you get a ship to the temple correctly, or you kill a pirate ship, you get faith. And as your faith increases, the game gets harder. And the challenge is that the wind propagates across the screen. So if you launch a wind to fix a ship on one side of the screen, the wind might go across the other side of the screen and mess up another ship. So that's the strategic consideration. Yeah. And we have a lot of ideas for how to improve this, like add levels with like more complex obstacles, add different kinds of ships. We have a whole big checklist of stuff we can do to make this game bigger and better. We're trying, right now we're just trying for the easy wins. But yeah. I wanted to crash this pirate ship, but now this pilgrim ship is off course, so you really have to be careful. From your POV, you'd see the ships need to be faster. Feels too moody for that type of game. Yeah, I think the ships are going to be bigger because I want to have multiple types of ships, and right now the ship sprites are too small. So I think I'm also going to add wind strength. Right now, wind does not speed ships up, but I would like to make it so that if you hit a ship from the back with the wind like this, it speeds it up. But at the moment, we don't have that math set up, so we're not doing it. But yeah, that's definitely a lot of the feedback I got from the jam, was that the pacing of the game is just too slow. But I think I fixed the difficulty spike, because it's gonna start getting a lot harder very soon. Right now the difficulty is basically tied to your faith level. There's technically a score field, but I think the score field is gonna go away. I think we're gonna combine faith and score into just faith. The wispies were like my favorite part of the jam version of this game, and I don't know how to make them. I don't know how to reconcile them here. Yeah, I really want to try one of these clouds that's just a single cloud sprite that animates instead of this weird pixel art or this weird particle stacking thing. Not super happy with that. Why do the wisps behave so much worse than they used to? They just go off in a new direction. I think we're going to change the wisps to be kind of like more of a afterthought than like a major effect. So what happens if I change your velocity here? Oh, I forgot I don't need to do that everywhere. I just need to do that in one spot. Spread 45 degrees. Yeah, this is not what we want, maybe. 15, 30. Let's say 30-degree spread at most. That might still be too much, honestly. And let's say... Let's give them some additional... Oh, they have no damping right now. That's a problem. Let's give them 3 to 5 damping. Something like that. We just want them to follow the cloud, essentially. I think the cloud is actually too fast right now. Yeah, this is good. There's too many of them, I think. The cloud was in world space. It won't look right. We'd need to add a ton of velocity, but... Yeah, we need to add a ton of velocity. I think I maybe prefer that. If we stick with this particle style. Actually, what we'll probably do is have a big a big single animating cloud sprite. And we'll probably spawn little cloud particle effects off of it. Maybe. Or we'll just stick with the wispies. What'd that look like? Let's look at that. I guess we're all in on wind today. I guess that's what I said we were going to do when we started. I need a better cloud. This is like not good. So I have to say this one first. What the fuck is happening? I thought I did press the Control F key. Go back. There we go. Okay, what the fuck is the key to stroke? F and S. Oh, I was hitting Control. gonna make a bunch of approximately similar cloud shapes. See what we can do here. This really isn't my strong suit, but we'll have to figure it out eventually. So like maybe these are the 4 big ones. It's not round or bulbous enough. They just don't look like clouds, is my problem. I don't know how to draw a cloud. I need to practice a lot more. Like, this one's okay. Looks kind of like a cotton ball. You're trying to make some character movement. Any idea how do I disable movement midair? Like, if I stop moving, he just drops in one spot. There's a couple of ways that there's a couple of reasons this might be happening. Are you using a character body 2D? I assume you're using a character body 2D. You want to change the motion mode from grounded to floating. Grounded is what you want to use for like a platformer or something, like where there's a definite ground plane and you want to make sure your character falls until they hit the ground plane. That's when you use motion mode grounded. If you just want to be able to freely move around. Oh, you want to disable movement midair. Yeah, but that's grounded and floating are good for that. And yeah, you can control what happens when they're on the floor. As far as not allowing them to move. Okay, good. But yeah, not being able to take inputs while mid-air, I think you'll just need to I think you might need to do a check for that. Yeah, you need to do some collision checking if you don't want to be able to accept input while you're in the air, I think. But yeah, I would read the character body 2D docs. I think they go into that a lot. I haven't really used character body 2D for platformers. I'm not really a platformer person. This is actually the first time I've even messed with having to do physics. I'm more of a strategy game kind of person. Whatever. So I feel like I'm getting kind of bogged down on maybe not the most important thing. Say 15. So let's slow it down. Let's add some additional damping. Maybe we shorten the lifetime. Let's see what we got. The thing is, what I'm trying to communicate now... I mean, we already did the game. The game exists. The mechanics are not too bad. What I'm trying to do now is communicate your ability to interface with the game, which is the wind. So that's why I'm spending all of this time on it. So I don't think we love that. So we're going to keep the cloud in local space. What I really need to do is an arrow. I need to make an arrow that... No, not what I wanted. I need to make an arrow that shows where the player is clicking and dragging. What if the wind follows the mouse constantly? That would be cool, but it would be a different game. Because the point of this is that you fling these winds out and they interact in ways that maybe you didn't expect. Like they change each other's direction, they change the ship's direction. So part of it is being very careful about when you make a move. Alright, the Wispies are starting to do what I want them to do. They're starting to do what I want them to do. I think I'm going to move them back a little bit. I'll watch a tutorial on how to... Yeah, they collide and they change direction. So you're kind of playing billiards in a way. I'm not sure whether I want them to combine into a single wind when that happens. I kind of do. But maybe I don't, because they're eventually going to be moving at different speeds. Right now there is no variation in speed for either the ship or the wind. Okay, yeah, okay, the Wispies are starting to do what I want. They're following the wind, and they're giving a little hint of the trail. And so we can make a sick wind sprite, because I am not happy with the particle effect, but this is good enough. You can see where the collider is, pretty much. So I've achieved my initial goal of making it so you can see where the wind collider is. We can just fix that later. But yeah, the Wispies are exactly what I want them to do now. There are maybe too many of them, but maybe not. So let's make an arrow that you can drag out, because that's another big thing. That's another big piece of feedback. But yeah, I wanted to ask you what kind of game you're working on. Are you just like learning the engine and just messing around? This should not be this. Alright, so arrow. So my understanding... So what size should this arrow be, for one thing? I think it'll be 16 pixels tall. Let's say... or do we just grab the spear? I don't know if we just grab the spear. And the spear is like part of my logo. The spear is actually what we're using to make the cursor, so maybe we don't want that twice. Yeah, the spear forms the cursor. The spear is also too big, I think. Learning the engine, messing around, but a platform jumper. There's a game in the 90s, Icy Tower, something like that. Okay, cool. Everyone has platformer nostalgia. I think that's like a universal condition. At least for people of, you know, a certain age. Alright, so we're going to make a new file. It's going to be, I don't know, maybe 64 pixels long and maybe 16 pixels tall. We're going to be doing some squash and stretch stuff, and I'm curious to see how effective Godot is at doing something like that. Such a hard time using this interface. There we go. Mainly because I've ruined it. We're going to use one of these ramps. We're going to probably just use the straight grayscale ramp. We'll say... I'm not going to use this inker here. We're going to use... So we just need a little arrow. So let's maybe use our arrow. Oh, jeez. Let's maybe use our line tool here. Simple arrow to start with. Do you want to try your hand at a survivor game? Yeah, that'd be cool. I think the hard part is not so much making it as like making it fun. I think the balance is where a lot of the challenge of that kind of a game comes in. Low in Godot, at least you have to worry about performance stuff maybe more than in some other engines. Alright. So we're just making a little arrow. This is probably too long. We probably want like this. Really want a shorter arrow. I kind of wanted to give it some substance though. Like that. Am I off by 1 or something? What's going on? Do we just start with... We're just going to start with a simple arrow. Go too crazy with it. Okay, so let's say that's adequate for at least debug purposes. Probably want a different one in the end. This is kind of too chunky and maybe not pointy enough. Small arrow. So how are we going to do this? Oh, we need to export it. I'm basically going to spawn this as a node that is between the mouse when it starts and the mouse, like the mouse when the click happens and the mouse where Is this a new object? This is probably a new object. Say, like the input arrow? I don't know. Apparently there's a thing called pooling. A lot of games need pooling. Because yeah, allocating and deallocating the memory all the time is like not good for a lot of those games unless you have some like crazy high performance like ECS system or something like that. Add a sprite, sprite 2D, and we'll plug in our little texture. Why are you blurry? Oh, they are all that way when they're small enough. Okay. Yeah, I might end up just using a variation of my spear. Are you going to scale the whole sprite? Yeah, I think so, Enamoth. At first, we'll just scale the length of it. But I think if we reintroduce wind strength, we'll scale up maybe the X or the Y. We'll scale up the width of it too. But I think we'll start just scaling up the. So I guess we need a new script, huh? Input arrow. So how is this going to work? So it's basically going to use some logic from the gust as far as determining So process, mouse position. So we'll grab this stuff. Grab some of this. Adapt some of that. So grab some initialization here. It's gonna look janky for a while. Need some of these variables to exist. So variable mouse start, vector 2, variable tracking mouse is a bool. Let's see, we might actually end up right now the wind. How does this work? Oh, there's a gust manager. Where's the gust manager? I was about to say the gust controller can't be the only thing doing this. We might end up going back to an input handler to an extent, because yeah, this is doing this whole thing. If input is action just pressed, summon the wind. New gust, add child. So actually that's what we want to start with. We'll do it here separately, just whatever. So we don't actually need to initialize this, huh? We also don't need to initialize this. We don't actually need anything. We actually don't need a ready function right now. So we're going to say if input is action just pressed, summon the wind. So that's when we will get the, we'll say mouse start, so get global mouse position. And then we'll say tracking the mouse is true. So elif tracking mouse, else something. Let's not worry about that now, actually. So if we're tracking the mouse, this will be the difference. We don't actually want a difference. We want to find the midway point between Little Frosty. Void, is that like type scripting? It's like, yeah, it's like, it's just, GD script is optionally statically typed. So you can do things like you can tell it what you want the variable to be, like what type. Yeah, so it's like type scripting. Yeah, you can tell it what type you want the variable to be. You can also tell it what type the return value of the function is. So I try to get in the habit of that because I'm more comfortable with static typing, but it's not super required. Yeah, it's got it. All right. So if we want to get So do I just take this position? Actually, it's not the mouse position we want to look at. We want to say mouse start. There's global position. We want to say the difference is, then we can just what? Divide this by 2? I don't know. Hey, still needs work. Good morning. I'm still really bad at vector math. I just want this vector... Actually, no, because this is relative. We need the global position. So this isn't going to work exactly. This is giving me the position, the relative position between where we started and... Or it's giving me the relative position of the mouse. We don't want the relative position of the mouse. We want the global position of the midpoint to the relative position of the mouse. Yeah, it's a good username. It's very accurate to maybe the issues we're dealing with here. Let's not worry about that. But yeah, we're working on a little arrow that we can stretch and squash to give the player a little more feedback. Right now, that still needs work. We're also working on changing the wind look to be a little clearer. So right now I have a particle wind and the wispies follow it. And so now maybe you have a better idea of where the collider is. So we did that this morning. I don't love the particle look of this. I think I want to put a sprite on top of it that animates. Like a big cloud sprite that animates. But I need to draw a big cloud sprite that animates, and that has been a struggle for me. So I need to look at some cloud tutorials and practice that a little bit. But I think it's a lot more clear where the wind is and what it will affect. A lot easier to follow now, yeah. And the wispies, the little wind wispies that I love so much, kind of just follow behind it, which I also really enjoy. Oh no, pirates. I think it's funny because now you can really see when two winds hit each other and change direction. Can we score and move you away just immediately after? Yeah, we did it. All right. So this gives me a local position because it's mouse start minus global position. So this gives me a local position relative to the input arrow. So we could just say position, right? We can set our own local position and it will handle that for us. Let's see if that just straight up works. I guess we also want to do a look at, huh? Well, let's just throw one of these in the menu and see what, or in the game and see what happens. I guess we put it at the bottom. Well, that is bigger than I thought it would be, but it's fine. kind of like how it jitters into position, but oh, it doesn't change the mouse start ever. So it's going based on the global value. I kind of like how it jitters though. Kind of cool. So the only problem is that it's... Oh, no. What? Okay, let's see why. Let's see why that's the way that's working. Mouse start. So if mouse start, position in between. I mean, let's see what happens when we do this. That's how you know I have no idea what I'm doing when I just try stuff. Okay, so it has the same effect. So it's looking towards the correct point, but it needs to be jumping to where we are placing our mouse. That's what it needs to be doing. Maybe we say position equals mouse start. Maybe say position equals position plus in between. I don't know. So that's not right, but okay, so there's something about this that I don't understand, but that's okay. Let's look at our vector2 built-in functions. There's probably some stuff here that can help us. Sorry, I'm reading something off screen. I probably should move this over. Yeah, I'm probably dealing with the issue of the fact that a vector is just a magnitude and a direction. So I'm getting a magnitude and a direction to where the mouse currently is. Actually, no. We're not even getting that, huh? Because what we're getting when we do this is it's just looking between... It's not even looking at the mouse position. Am I not getting the mouse position again? Oops. Sad music. We're in a sad... This is a little sad. But we're chilling. It's been a very quiet stream. And I kind of like that. First half of the stream was pretty much just me and the spam bots, and then Lil Frosty came in, which is pretty great, and now you two are here. That's also pretty great. Yeah, I'm not grabbing the mouse position again, which is a mistake. Yeah, I'm an idiot. It should be this. It should be get global mouse position minus mouse start. It's sort of what we want. Still not totally what we want. So it always makes its position. Maybe now we're dealing with the issue where we should be setting global position, not local position. Left tracking mouse. LF input dot is action pressed. Maybe we don't need to worry about tracking the mouse. Okay, it's still offset from the middle. Don't totally understand. It's because it's relative. It's because we still need to somehow. Oh, I know what it is. In between is mouse start plus difference divided by 2. I don't even think I know why I use that in between position. Okay, so it's sort of what we want now. The look at is broken, but the in-between thing is working. So we need to fix the look at. So the look at. Okay, it's not really what we want. Maybe we just say, look at, let's say, variable mouse position, get global mouse position, and we say look at mouse position. Actually, maybe we say that after we move it. If we move it, then look it. You are now going to scale the arrow, and that AL scales in both directions at the same time. Yeah, that is gonna be interesting. That's why we're trying to position at the midpoint. We just need a scale factor that gets it so that the tips are in the right spot here. So we'll need to figure out what that scale factor should be. Oh, it's working though. We just need to scale it. And we need some more rules about like hiding it when we're not using it. In principle, this works. I don't totally love how the pixelation of it is. We might need to make this. Well, we still have to make some decisions about the viewport anyway, so let's not get too bogged down. Well, yeah, let's do some scale stuff. So let's unlock the component ratio so that we can say like this. Now we'll just scale it along X. It's going to look really weird. I guess we'll have to scale it along Y a little bit so that it doesn't look insane. Scale. What is apply scale? Applies the current scale by the ratio vector. Interesting. We might end up using that. Scale. Let's say difference dot length. This one, I don't know. But let's say scale dot x equals crash. Oh. So that's not right. Yeah. That's a way to put it. So this is closer. It's closer to what we want. Maybe it's 50? I kind of like it. We don't actually have to hide it when we're clicking down if we do it this way. So it needs to be a little bigger or a little smaller than 50 still. 40? It's starting to look really bad. We're gonna need to probably widen it a little bit. Maybe it's 36. That'd be pretty good. No, it's not quite. It's pretty close actually. I actually don't necessarily want it to like touch exactly. Maybe we'll eventually clamp it. Once we add the speed in, we'll clamp its size to like whatever some maximum is. Let's actually maybe do that now. So what would be like, when does it start to get degenerate? And let's actually look at, oops, yeah, let's look at the remote. And let's see what its scale is right now. Right now its scale is 3. Okay. It's probably about what we want. So let's scale. Say clamp F 0 3. We'll say scale.x equals scale.y divided by 2. Or no, scale.y equals scale.x divided by 2. We set up for adding the okay, if in this case we also want to, so if we max out the scale. Okay, I kind of like this. I think it gets too big ultimately. It's probably too big. I don't know, maybe not. We have to clean it up is one thing we have to do. So maybe we say we need to figure out a way of anchoring it so that it never gets farther than like this, so that it doesn't just keep going. Probably limit it to 2 or something instead of 3. Now we need to somehow limit its position offset. So in between is mouse start plus difference divided by 2. It needs to be some kind of max. We need to clamp it somewhere. So we need to say clamp f difference divided by 2. Can't be less than 0. I don't know, I guess we're gonna have to start guessing numbers till we find something that we like. We can't do that. Oh, that's an issue. We have to clamp the difference based on the length somehow. Actually, don't know how to do that. Yeah, no worries. Coffee is life. All right, how do we do this? So we have our difference. I guess what we can do is normalize this. We can say this, we can say say 100, I guess, for to start. $100 is too much. So we don't want to say that. Why is that janky all of a sudden? Why does it behave like that? Why does it only look at when we've reached some kind of... So the scale is not right. Oh, I undid the change I made to the scale. We want to hide that as soon as we let go of the mouse, is one thing we want to do. Say modulate equals lerp modulate blur dot white. Actually, I guess we can just modulate the x. Modulate to x is lerp f. Or not x, we want a. Modulate a is lerp f to 1 by delta. Else, we want to modulate a modulate a to 0 delta. Yeah, fade it to disappear. That's exactly what we're going to try to do here. And we'll actually set it up to, by default, be invisible. That's pretty good. We want to maybe do it a little faster. Yeah, we want it to be a little faster. Not sure how we can make it faster, though. We don't really necessarily have to make it faster if we end up having our own... We have multiples of these. Right now we just have a single one that we're passing around, but if we have one for every gust of wind, I don't think we really care. So the only issue that I have now is when it's within some magnitude, it is not updating its look at, which is not what I want. So I need to figure out why that's happening. I want it to always be doing that. It has something to do with clamping the magnitude. So let's just say, oh, it says look at mouse position. Put it last for one thing. Some kind of threshold we're not reaching. There's something weird going on. Oh, it's because it's following the mouse position. That's why. We need to maybe not use look at. Maybe we need to use rotation. Let's do that. Let's say rotation equals difference dot angle. Is that what I use for the gust? I feel like that's what I've historically used for the gust. Yeah. That should work. All right, we got about another 10 minutes or so. Unfortunately, I have to cut today's stream short. I have like a extra early work meeting to go to. Okay, well, this works now. So that works now. So what we probably want is a little manager who handles spawning and disposing of these. But I think this goes a long way to dealing with the usability issue. Yeah, because even if you just do these short little... Because most people are just going to do like this. So maybe we don't fade in. Maybe we just fade out. Maybe we say, if tracking mouse modulate A equals 1. Yeah, I still think people that do this are going to have maybe a little bit of hard time, but maybe we add a bigger minimum. That's maybe how we do it. Maybe we add a minimum of like 0.5 or something. Scale at clamp F. Yeah, let's add a minimum. Let's say 0.5. Oh, maybe 0.5 is not enough. Maybe the minimum should be 1. Oh, no, actually I like having no minimum. Maybe we just scale it up faster. Maybe we use like length squared. Where mag? We're making good progress every day, though. I'm feeling good about what we're doing. The change to the ship behaviors was awesome yesterday. Maybe mag is a little too crazy. Yeah, it is. We're going to full. Okay, maybe I can fix that. Okay, that's about what I want. Close to what I want. Still think maybe it gets too big. Maybe we say 1.6. We say 1.5. Maybe we say 450. Okay, 1.5 feels good. But yeah, the positioning is wrong now. Oh, Jesus. So... Oh, we're multiplying. We're not dividing. Oopsies. Little too little. Maybe 20. Yeah, that's maybe perfect. Maybe it could be a little farther forward. Right now it's spinning like a needle, which I guess is cool, but... Pretty open question about whether this is going to be readable if I start using like touch input or something, but let's not worry about that right now. Also maybe don't want it to be full opacity. Should make the lerping easier. What do we say? Maybe we lerp you up to 0.5 and then we lerp you back down. We're getting there. We're getting close. Now we're just tuning values, which takes so long, but is so much of what just doing this is. I think that's a big improvement. I think we're going to have some readability issues as well that we'll need to tackle, but feeling okay about this so far. I need to figure out how to lerp something faster than delta time. What I want to do. What the F am I doing? I'm like just hitting random keys now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think this is better. Now the arrow gets kind of in front of it. Maybe the opacity is not good though. Yeah, well, next time we'll make this not like a singleton. We'll make these individual things that spawn and get freed, so that we don't have to worry about them jumping. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out so far. They get kind of ahead of you too, so I think even if you were putting a finger on a touch screen, you'd be able to see this. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think it helps anybody who's like a spammer, but I don't think there's anything I can do about spammers. Spammers will learn their lesson. I think just the sheer amount of the fact that we have the ship gradually turn until it's like, instead of having to like double or triple tap wins to get them to turn all the way around if you didn't understand how to overcorrect. I think we've majorly solved for the spammer, the need to spam. I'm a little concerned. Yeah, I definitely want this to just be a single sprite because we need it to be semi-transparent so we can see what's going on underneath it, and I feel like the particle effect is interfering with that. I want it to. I want it to work on a tablet. I want my mom to be able to play it. She only really games on a tablet. What sucks is my mom also is on a Mac, so it's gonna cost me like $600-700 to just make it so she can play it. Yeah, because I'm gonna need to buy a Mac Mini, and then get Xcode, and then get a license. But let's worry about that. Let's worry about that later. Let's not worry about that right now. I love the way it looks like when two clouds collide now. You can really see the cloud behavior now. I think that's very fun. Apple does not make things easy, and they do not make it cheap. I love that. I think we need to tighten it up a little bit, but I kind of like that they don't exactly overlap when they come out of a collision. Yeah, we're really happy with today's progress. I really need to work on how I draw clouds. Yeah, we added a cloud-like particle that better shows where the wind collider is. Probably won't be a particle for long. And we added an arrow-like object that better shows the player's clicking dry. We did what we said we were going to do today. Pirate Software refused to develop its game, or Apple. Kindle Fire? Maybe. I mean, Android will be easy. I have an Android tablet. So, well, it'll be trivial to do this for Android, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I mean, I kind of want to have because Godot web builds don't work for Mac users, I kind of want a Mac build anyway, because I have a lot of friends who only have Macs. Like, all my non-gamer friends only have Macs. I kind of would like them to be able to play it. So it's not just... Yeah, it's not just the iOS, but whatever. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Tomorrow, we'll keep working on this. The arrow. We'll start to think about what a whirlwind secondary ability might look like. Or maybe we'll start to think about drag length speed and re-engineering the ship wind locomotion. This is going to be pretty major. I also really want to focus on the ocean. I want to focus on doing an ocean, like a cool ocean shader. That's probably what I'm going to think about over the weekend. As well as writing a postmortem. We're going to do a postmortem. I already have kind of the outline of it, but I need to actually write it. I've been rewatching my jam videos, my day 1 and day 2 jam videos from the compo, annotating them so I know what to pull. But I want to record a postmortem in the next couple of weeks so that I can post it shortly after ratings go live. But it involves a lot. I'm going to need to make a Steam page. I'm going to need to make some kind of like 90-second trailer of what the game looks like after we keep working on it for a couple of weeks. So I'm really just working on pumping up this specific map so that I can do like a side-by-side comparison about like the direction it's headed. I think that'll be cool. And yeah, that'll be our first YouTube video that we ever put out. Hopefully we get some eyes on it. We get a little more, we get some more people who don't just lurk in Twitch. I know that worked for Armus. He did a lot of YouTube video stuff. Trailer with gameplay, yeah. We'll have to do a series of like text fields about like what we plan to add, like additional levels, like set piece monsters. Yeah, not the AAA movie trailer. Yeah, no. Derek Liu has this thing called like It's like the minimum viable product game trailer. That's not what he calls it, but it's like basically a glorified GIF. That's what he calls it. It's like a 60 to 90 second gameplay trailer that's basically just like a long, like a couple of GIFs or a series of GIFs or something, and it just shows the game going. That's what we'll do. But we need to make a lot more stuff to make that look interesting. I think the ocean, if we can get a good ocean shader, I think that by itself, if we can get the ocean shader and get more of this wave stuff going, I think we can make this map look really good without having to add a lot of content to it. But yeah, that's the plan. So we'll be back tomorrow. I do gotta run, but thanks for stopping by. Still Needs Work. It's always nice to see you. And Eenomoth. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. So until next time, have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.